Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Making headlines this morning, coronavirus cases across the nation continue to climb as we head into the week of Thanksgiving and Black Friday shopping.
Outside with live cam, feeling a little cooler this morning, maybe a little less humid. We'll get an update on a little cool front. Good morning, everybody. It is Monday. It is November 23rd.
Thanks for joining us this morning. I know a lot of people are excited about Thanksgiving, just days away now.
It sure is. And a lot of folks got their decorations up this weekend, maybe a little online shopping or a lot of online shopping.
Including Mike. He did his decorations.
He did get his decorations fully up this weekend.
The exteriors.
Oh, the exterior.
Oh, that's good.
Interior, yes. That's still Thanksgiving.
So. Okay. Is that? Are you exterior and Bonnie is interior? Or are you all, you're the decorator guy?
I will get them out, put them up, and then they all get moved.
Okay. I read what you're saying. It's still your job.
You with me, Marcus, on that one? Yeah. Anyway, we do. Yeah, he said, obviously, I didn't do it right. Amen to that. Anyway, yeah, we did have a weak front move through yesterday, and it did touch off a couple little sprinkly showers around the area in the evening. And now we're not down to normal, but it feels a little more fallish when you step outside. Mid-50s hill country, 59 here in town. The humidity has really dropped down temporarily. Now, that's why I say it's going to be going kind of up and down all over the place. Just you blink and things are going to be changing this week. Wind is out of the northeast right now, about 5-10 miles per hour, and mold is on the moderate side. Throughout the rest of today, we are going to make it up to 70 at noon. I'm going to go for 75 for a high temperature today. We'll see more sunshine today. Again, the humidity being on the lower side is not going to last long. It's going to start to really come back in here overnight. We'll have more clouds around here. Warm and humid tomorrow. Another front comes through. Then warm and humid. Then another front comes through, but that one, we do have some decent rain chances later on in the week and much cooler temperatures. We'll talk about that and a closer look at Thanksgiving Day. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Time saver traffic right now. Back from in service, Officer Marcus Trujillo. Good to see you, sir.
Well, good to see you, Mike. Good to be back with everyone here, the whole gang back together again. Right now, as we take a look at the roadways this morning, first of all, good morning, everyone at home and those hoping to head home. Right now, things still look pretty good out there on the highways. We see no delays except for right there by the airport. So we'll keep an eye on that, see how that progresses. And as we move to some other areas, you can see that 410 at Austin Highway, travel moving along fairly well. No problems there at 35 at St. Mary's. And as we move on to one more, you can see 35 at Pine. So far, no issues there. Stephanie?
Thank you, Marcus. A 44-year-old man fighting for his life at Bamsey after he was gunned down on Sunday evening. The shooting happened on Antoinette Drive on the city's southeast side. San Antonio police say the victim got home and told his wife to go inside the house before he walked down the street to speak to a group of people. Police say a conversation did happen and it was followed by an argument which led to the group of men firing at least 20 rounds at the victim. A neighbor's Ring doorbell footage was recovered showing 5 men in their 20s taking off in 2 separate cars after the shooting.
We canvassed the neighborhood and we were able to find that video footage and be able to review it to give us a description of the suspect and get a better picture of what actually took place.
The victim, who police say appeared to have known the suspect, was shot in the chest. At this time, police have not released a description of those 5 suspects or the cars that they drove off in. That investigation is still ongoing.
Now to the coronavirus pandemic, and new statistics show that 1 American is dying from the virus about every minute. But there's hope. AstraZeneca says late-stage trials of its COVID-19 vaccine are highly effective in preventing the disease.
And despite the CDC urging Americans not to travel, airports in many cities were crowded this weekend. ABC's Mona Kassar Abdi has the latest.
This morning, some California restaurants already crippled by COVID are being dealt another blow. Starting at 10 p.m. Wednesday, all dining in Los Angeles County will shut down again. Only takeout, drive-through, and delivery will be allowed.
I have to say I'm all for it. I think we have to knock this thing down.
Across the country Sunday, more than 100,000 new coronavirus cases were reported for a 20th consecutive day. In Nevada, the governor issuing a statewide pause, tightening mask requirements and reducing capacity limits in public places.
Whether you believe in the science of COVID or not, the reality is this. It's simple. COVID is filling up our hospital beds. and that threatens all Nevadans.
The governor of Georgia now urging people to wear a mask.
As the weather turns cold and people spend more time inside, we have seen Georgia's case numbers increase.
In the last week, 10,000 Americans have died from the virus, the equivalent of one person dying every minute. And now, health officials fearing another big surge as the holiday rush begins. The TSA screening 2 million passengers over the weekend, some of the highest numbers since the pandemic began. Dr. Anthony Fauci is urging Americans to think twice about Thanksgiving plans.
Please seriously consider decisions that you make.
In the meantime, police breaking up large parties, including 80 people inside a swingers club in New York City. And the state's governor is calling for an investigation after reports of a synagogue holding a wedding with 7,000 maskless guests. In Arlington, Texas, one family recording this video.
We have COVID-19.
All my family have COVID-19.
15 members of the family are now fighting the virus after gathering for an indoor birthday party earlier this month.
Please stay at home.
Please protect yourself. It's real.
Please don't be like my family and ignore the CDC guidelines. By staying apart, we can fight this virus together.
Mona Kosar-Abdi, ABC News, New York.
Here at home, there's been another major increase in new cases of COVID-19 in Bexar County. Health officials are reporting 567 new cases, but no new deaths. However, a backlog of 17 deaths have been added to the official toll. On top of that, there are 492 people in the hospital this morning, with 165 in ICU, 84 on ventilators.
And time now is 4:36 and 59 degrees for now.
Just ahead on GMSA, first look at all the Black Friday deals you can count on as we begin the holiday shopping season.
And next, the latest on President Donald Trump's legal challenges against the 2020 election process in some states.
And outside with live cam, we've slipped back into the 50s for the first time in, it seems like, days. We'll get an update on the work week forecast for those of you who are working this week, and a look ahead to Thanksgiving coming up. Making headlines this morning, the Trump campaign appealing after a judge threw out its elections case in the state of Pennsylvania. Legal experts say the chances of success the second time around are inconceivably small. The circuit court involved has ruled against a similar case already. The appeal comes after the judge dismissed the campaign's attempt to invalidate about 7 million ballots. They say the campaign's arguments lacked merit and evidence and amounted to an attempt to disenfranchise legal voters. President Donald Trump's legal team has also said his campaign has requested a recount of votes in the state of Georgia.
And 2 people are dead following a stabbing last night at a church in San Jose, California. Police say there were also other people that were seriously wounded. It happened at Grace Baptist Church in the city's downtown area. Authorities say they do have a suspect in custody. San Jose police said there were no services taking place at the time of that stabbing, but that some homeless individuals had been brought into the church to get them out of the cold.
The co-founder of the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge has died of the disease he raised millions of dollars to fight. The ALS Association says Pat Quinn died at the age of 37 on Sunday. He was diagnosed in 2013 with also what's known as Lou Gehrig's disease. The association says Quinn's Ice Bucket Challenge has raised about $115 million to support its work. Also brought in about $220 million for research in other countries. Right now it is 4:41, 59 degrees.
And still ahead, losing her vision could not stop this teen from doing pretty much anything she wants to, and now she's hoping to inspire others.
And extra tracking the biggest Black Friday deals to save you the most money.
And welcome back. It's 4:44. It's the week of Black Friday, and that means stores are offering big deals to get your money. ABC's Becky Worley has the latest in your GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, countdown to Black Friday. The deals dropping earlier than ever, and some shoppers worrying they won't last. This year's hottest gift for teens is sold out at all the major outlets. This morning, the PS5 gaming console unavailable online as desperate parents wait for new batches of products to become available.
I would encourage consumers to check across multiple retailers' websites through the week.
While Walmart has advertised new deals and a new shipment of PS5s dropping November 25th at 9 p.m. p.m., experts say stores want us to shop now.
Given the peak demand that they're expecting, the earlier they can push the orders, the easier it is for them to fulfill those orders in time.
And all this week, GMA has you covered for all things Black Friday. We're tracking the biggest deals to save you the most money. It's all coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Becky Worley, ABC News, Oakland, California.
The teen in this next story is jack of all trades at Steele High School, even though she suffers from an eye condition that many would see as a barrier to most activities.
Japhanie Gray has a story of 16-year-old Jasmine Harper and her mission to raise awareness in this week's What's Up South Texas report.
You literally can go to a different world at sometimes if you just imagine things as you hear music or play it.
This soft-spoken Steele High School junior is 16-year-old Jasmine Harper. She plays violin, guitar, saxophone, and more. She's also active in her high school marching band and orchestra. She's a member of the Girl Scouts and part of multiple swim teams, which is why it may be a surprise to you to know that Jasmine has an eye condition known as glaucoma and is legally blind.
Even if she wasn't visually impaired, that's a lot to take on, and then to try to balance it and keep her grades up. You couldn't be any prouder than that.
The struggle to see started when Jasmine was born. Her mother, Jennifer Harper, was told Jasmine had a tumor behind her eye, but they later learned it was a cataract.
I thought that's nothing, so we've dealt with it head on. She doesn't know any different, and I haven't treated her any different.
For 11 years of her life, Jasmine had to wear an eye patch as she grew and adapted to life in school.
I thought it was normal you couldn't see the board. I thought it was normal the pictures would shake in books.
Her condition became the subject of bullying, virtually and physically.
It's not fun. I do not wish anyone to have that experience.
Jasmine found a way to overcome that obstacle.
I have a group of friends. I do what I enjoy, and I can see. Kind of.
She's always up for a challenge like swimming.
She swims by counting. She doesn't need to see the wall. And you can also have tappers. And right now she's using balls at the end of the lanes that are bright orange that could possibly catch her eye so she could see where to turn.
And of course, her love for music keeps her going.
It's fun and you can endlessly learn.
She's even taken extra steps to educate others about visual impairment. Jasmine proving you can do anything despite your life struggles is a positive sight to see for What's Up South Texas.
Everybody has their own battles, so don't let yours stop what you are trying to accomplish.
Japhanie Gray, KSAT 12 News. Right now it is 4:47, and during a normal Thanksgiving week, we tend to see some traffic as folks are headed off to see family or friends for the holiday, but all bets are off for normal this year.
Who knows what to expect on those roadways, right, Officer Marcus Trujillo?
Well, funny you should say that. This weekend, running a couple of errands back and forth, if you look at all the parking lots, not only the department stores, but all the grocery stores, wouldn't think anything's going on, just jam-packed to the gill. Overflow parking fill up as well. Let's take a look at an accident that we do have down here just south of the downtown area. We're looking at Highway 90-35 area. Now, it came out as westbound I-10 exiting for southbound 35, but we're also seeing slow down southbound 35 exiting for eastbound Highway 90 where it changes into I-10. So at that cloverleaf, watch out for a number of flashing lights and emergency vehicles. Let's take a look at some other areas out there through TransGuide 35 at Pine. So far, no problems there. We're moving over to one more. There we go. 201 Hildebrand. So far, things look pretty good there by the university.
Thank you, Marcus.
Good news there. Beautiful shot behind you.
Yes, indeed, and beautiful when you step outside this morning. Still not quite down to what it should be, but we did have that front move on through there. Oh, and there's our coffee can and 2 coffee cans and a string. The internet there and kind of blinked out. Sorry about that. But yes, it was a beautiful picture and good looking picture here. We do have a few clouds hanging around this morning. We are going to see more sunshine this afternoon, and then we'll see the clouds move back in here fairly quickly. And really, as far as what's going on in the weather this week, you blink, it's going to change. It's going to be happening that quickly. We had one front last night. We've got another one midweek, another one by the end of the week. And as I mentioned off the top of the show, some of the best rain chances we we've had around here in a while. Still got pretty dry air upstairs in the atmosphere, so once these clouds break up this morning, we'll see more sunshine later on today. Dew point temperatures did drop down. Now, it's not bone dry out there, but we are below 60 because Saturday, I don't know if you're outside putting up your Christmas decorations, but it was kind of warm and humid out there, as well as yesterday morning. But then that, obviously, the humidity dropped down yesterday. Now, it's going to return fairly quickly. So by this evening, we get these dew points back up here into the 60s. Tomorrow morning, we'll probably have a little mist to deal with, maybe even a patch or two of fog. It's going to be very humid tomorrow and very warm. Then we start off on Wednesday with some of this moisture around here, but here comes the drier air with the next front that will move on through here. That's going to knock humidity down for Wednesday, and the first part of the day on Thursday, it's going to spike very quickly on Friday, then really drop down. We've got an even more potent front moving on through here. That's going to be sometime during the day, Friday, late or early Saturday. Also, the nice thing is right about in here, Friday, Saturday, we've got some pretty good rain chances. Now, we don't have anything. There were a couple of sprinkly showers, excuse me, that popped up late yesterday with the passage of that front, and otherwise not any big systems that are moving down here in our direction at all. Very close by, as you can see, there is some frozen precipitation up there in portions of Kansas. The cooler air has settled back down into the United States. We are going to be getting a little bit of it, a little bit this morning, a little bit, maybe bigger bit by Wednesday, but then a bigger chunk, I should say, of colder air is going to be coming in here by the weekend, with also those, fairly decent rain chances, maybe starting late Thursday, but especially Friday into Saturday. Today, 70 degrees at noon, partly cloudy skies, going for 75 for a high temperature today. I think we'll have enough sunshine to warm us up, and then clouds going to come back in here fairly quickly tonight. Tomorrow, we are going to have some morning rain or morning mist, maybe a little sprinkled here and there, perhaps even some fog. Then the next front moves through here. It's going to be nice on Wednesday, nice starting off on Thursday, maybe a shower late Thursday. Cool start, big warm up throughout the day. Friday, good chance of showers. Saturday, good chance of showers. That's some of the best news. But look at that. It's also going to be pretty chilly over the weekend. Highs only in the low 60s going for.
What a Thanksgiving treat.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, but starting off Thursday, it's going to be nice.
Very good.
Thank you, Mike. 452, 59 degrees.
And up next, the latest on the new Black Panther movie, which is now moving ahead without the late Chadwick Boseman.
And your lottery numbers, pick 3001 with a fireball of 7. Daily 4 numbers 4359, fireball 9.
Cash 5, 13, 14, 17, 29, 31. Lotto Texas 2, 10, 36, 42, 47, 53. And your Powerball numbers 51, 54, 57, 60, 69, Powerball 11, Power Play 2.
Filming will soon start on Marvel's Black Panther 2, plus another Predator movie is in the works.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Christopher Watson.
Work on Marvel's Black Panther 2 will reportedly begin in July. That's a few months later than planned. Star Chadwick Boseman's sudden death from cancer last August understandably put things on hold. The big question remains, who will take over the part?
What happens now determines what happens to the rest of the world.
There's a lot riding on the answer. Black Panther earned over $1.3 billion worldwide and is the 4th highest grossing film of all time. Marvel Studios is owned by Disney, parent company of ABC News.
Cute, creepy dude in the mask.
The slasher comedy Freaky topped the pandemic-hobbled box office for a second weekend, earning another $1.2 million for a $5.5 million total gross.
Predators just don't sit around making hats out of rib cages.
We're getting another Predator movie. 2018 saw the latest entry in the franchise about aliens come to Earth to hunt humans. This will be the 5th since the 1987 Arnold Schwarzenegger original. And Miley Cyrus is 28 Monday. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Christopher Watson, ABC News.
And time now is 4:56 and 58 degrees.
Still ahead on GMSA, Joe Biden forging ahead as President Donald Trump continues to contest the election.
Plus, need to get your Black Friday shopping done early. We're going to tell you which companies are offering deals now, just ahead in Tech Bites.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
As President Trump continues to contest the election, President-elect Biden is moving forward with cabinet appointments. I'm ABC's Elizabeth Schulze, the latest on the transition coming up.
Feels cooler out there this morning. Will fog be an issue or anything like that? We'll check in with Mike Osterhage as we kick off Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, it's a little cool. Happy Monday. It is November 23rd. Thanks for joining us.
Hope you had an awesome weekend. Let's jump right into our Monday forecast with Mike.
You know, it does feel cooler, obviously, but we are still about 11 degrees above normal right now. But it's at least it is more pleasant. The humidity dropped down. That weak front moved on through here. We have a northeasterly breeze at about 12 miles per hour. Still have some clouds hanging around. We will see more sunshine later on today and make it up into the mid 70s. Yeah, that's still on the above normal side by about 5 degrees. We'll take it, though, after being up in the low 80s yesterday. The aquifer on yesterday's reading did go up 0.7 of a foot, and the allergens, just a moderate amount of mold is showing up as of right now. So we do have some clouds starting off this morning and some very dry air once again upstairs in the atmosphere, so we should see some beautiful blue skies later on. It's not going to last very long. This forecast, I mean, things are going to be changing almost, well, I was going to say every day something different, but even sooner than that, because we'll start to change actually by later on tonight as far as the humidity working its way back in here. So mostly sunny, kind of fallish today. Like I said, even though we're on the above normal side, humidity comes back in here tonight, so we'll have some mist tomorrow morning, and then it's going to be on the warm, humid side throughout the afternoon, back up to about 80. Then we have another front moving on through here. So the rest of the week, follow along here. It's going to be nice, then warm, then wet, then much cooler. This will all come about. So nice Wednesday, warmer Thursday, wet Friday, Saturday, cooler over the weekend. It's going to be actually pretty chilly and some of our best rain chances we've had in a long time. So that's some really good news with the forecast. Details on Thanksgiving coming up. Time saver traffic right now. Here's Officer Marcus Trujillo. Anything going on, sir?
Well, Mike, we still have that one accident, 35 Highway 90 area. So westbound Highway 90 exiting for southbound 35. That accident still in place. We still have officers out there. And also Kyle Seal at 1604. We do have an officer out with a stalled vehicle, so keep that in mind. As we take a look at some other areas through TransGuide, you can see 35 at Pine so far. No issues there. Just remember, buckle up as you head out today. Marcus, Stephanie?
Thank you, Marcus. We have some late breaking news. We heard a fire call come out a while ago, and firefighters arrived to find a home fully engulfed in flames here in San Antonio.
This is happening in the 5100 block of Hayden Drive on the southwest side. Our Katrina Weber is live there now with the latest. Good morning, Katrina.
Good morning, Stephanie. Well, the fire is out and luckily no one is hurt, but you can see behind me a burnt out shell of a house. Again, 5100 block of Hayden. This is off of Old Pearsall Road. We have arson investigators here. They've been taking pictures and walking around. Firefighters are talking with the man who lives here. He told them he woke up a little bit after 2:30 this morning and found his house on fire. And that's exactly what firefighters found when they got here, flames coming out of this home. They weren't able to tell me where it started in the house or what may have caused it. They're going to leave all of that up to arson investigators. But that man, who was the only one in the house, was able to get out safely. They're just wrapping things up here with him and again conducting an investigation to see what caused this. Reporting live on the southwest side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
New this morning, San Antonio police say a woman is recovering after being shot late last night over on the city's west side. It happened just before 10 p.m. in the 5400 block of Stillbrook Drive near Bandera Road and Huebner. SAPD says a man and woman were sitting out in front of their home when someone in a dark colored vehicle pulled up when someone inside started shooting. The woman was hit once in the leg. She was taken to the hospital in stable condition. No other injuries were reported. Police are still trying to find the person or persons responsible.
Nearly 3 weeks after Election Day, President-elect Joe Biden moving forward with the transition process with key cabinet announcements planned this week, including his Secretary of State.
Meanwhile, 2 states have votes scheduled today to certify the election results. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze is in Washington, D.C. with more.
As President Trump continues to contest the election results, President-elect Joe Biden is forging ahead with the transition process. Biden expected to nominate his longtime advisor Antony Blinken as Secretary of State. The cabinet announcement, which could happen as soon as Tuesday, comes as Michigan is preparing a vote on whether to certify election results or delay the process to allow an audit. With at least one Republican member of the state's canvassing board expected to delay the certification, if the other Republican forces a tie, the issue could end up in the court. Michigan's House Speaker telling Fox News.
As you mentioned, if there were to be a 2-2 split on the State Board of Canvassers, it would then go to the Michigan Supreme Court to determine what their response would be, what their order would be.
Meantime, some counties in Pennsylvania are planning to certify their election results today. Pennsylvania is the latest state to dismiss a Trump campaign lawsuit claiming voter fraud, with the judge writing the claims are haphazardly stitched together like Frankenstein's monster. A small but growing number of Republicans are now expressing frustration that President Trump won't accept the results of the vote. Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski saying a pressure campaign on state legislators to influence the electoral outcome is not only unprecedented, but inconsistent with our democratic process.
And what's happened here is, quite frankly, the conduct of the president's legal team has been a national embarrassment.
The Trump campaign is distancing itself from conservative attorney Sidney Powell after she made unfounded claims about the integrity of the voting apparatus used in several states. Trump had said last week that Powell was part of the legal team. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
Back here at home, a local business owner making a plea to keep her business alive in the Alamo City so far is responding. Sherry Ramirez, the owner of San Antonio's only Nestle Toll House Cafe off West Loop 1604 near Culebra. The business has only been open a short time, but the doors are at risk of closing due to pandemic. Well, Ramirez asked for the community's support in a viral video, and she said she was surprised to find a line of people outside waiting to help. Ramirez, who's also a retired military veteran, served 36 years as an RN and an acute care nurse practitioner in the Army, Navy, and Air Force. She believes it was their generosity that is helping to keep her business alive.
When I get home tonight, I'm going to crash on my knees and thank God and thank you all. I love San Antonio.
Some customers we talked to yesterday say they waited in line more than 2 hours to try to get in and help out and place an order. The door is just days away from closing, but Ramirez says the boost of sales from the weekend might allow her business to stay open a little bit longer.
It's so cool to see that line.
Quite a crowd.
Yeah, good job, Sherry. Time now is 5:07 and 58 degrees for now.
Still ahead if you want to get your shopping over with. We'll tell you about some Black Friday deals that are available right now.
Plus, love it or hate it, Facebook continues to be the king of all social media. We're going to break down just how many people are using the platform compared to other popular social media services.
Mike says a little cool front moved through and we can feel the change this morning. Is it temporary? And we'll find out the answer to that. And we'll get an update on some rainfall chances here in San Antonio and South Texas. Be right back. Welcome back. 5:10. Big tech companies and social media giants have been all over the news. And in some cases, the leaders of these organizations have been in front of Congress.
Whether you love or hate social media, odds are you are using it in some capacity. As Max Massey explains, Facebook still appears to be king, at least regarding users.
I'm sure we've all complained about Facebook one way or another, whether there was a political post, a weird picture, or a mean comment. But as much as we criticize Facebook, the platform, it's only getting more and more popular. According to the statistics website Statista, Facebook has more than 2.7 billion, yes, billion monthly active users around the world. To put that into perspective, Facebook, the first social media platform to have 1 billion users back in 2012. And since then, it has almost tripled. But here's the thing. Facebook owns and operates more than just the Facebook platform. Yes, I said that correctly. Among their other popular platforms are WeChat and Instagram. So here's where it gets even crazier. During the latest reported fiscal quarter, the company Facebook stated that 3.1 billion people were using at least one of the company's core products. Those products include Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, and their newly updated Messenger program. Each month, to put that in perspective, there are 7.8 billion people on the earth. That means, according to these numbers, in the latest fiscal quarter, more than 40% of the entire world was on one of Facebook's social media platforms. Now, that's a lot of people, but we also have to recognize that for so many people, including myself, during this pandemic, social media has been a crucial source of communication with friends and with family. Guys, back to you.
Right now it's 5:12, 58 degrees.
And you don't have to wait any longer for some Black Friday deals. We're going to tell you what companies are offering, what discounts they're offering right now.
Plus, if you still want to get your hands on a PlayStation 5, why Walmart could be your way of actually getting one.
irresistibly smooth chocolate. To put the world on pause. Lindor, made to melt you. By the Lindt Master Chocolatier.
Out of all the gifts you can give this holiday, good health is the most important of all. Because with that, you have everything.
You try to stay ahead of the mess, but scrubbing still takes time. Now there's Dawn Power Wash Dish Spray. It's the faster way to clean as you go. Just spray, wipe, and rinse. It cleans grease 5 times faster. Dawn Power Wash. Spray, wipe, rinse.
5:15. Forget waiting until the end of the week. The Black Friday deals are already here. ABC's Kenneth Moten has details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Black Friday sales are already underway as stores try to spread out traffic during the pandemic. Best Buy is now offering laptops for $110. That's a 52% discount. Kohl's is selling a Ninja blender for $80 off. That's a 57% discount. And Macy's has an air fryer for $19, a 61% discount. Meanwhile, Walmart is advertising a new shipment of PlayStation 5s available November 25th. But experts say stores want us to shop now. Best Buy and GameStop are also teasing PS5 deals this week. And finally, Charli D'Amelio is the first person to gain more than 100 million followers on TikTok. It took the 16-year-old dancer and influencer just 18 months to achieve that milestone. She has twice as many followers as Will Smith and 5 times as many as Kylie Jenner. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Haven't started Christmas shopping.
I haven't either.
You haven't either?
I mean, I've got a list of ideas that I was given, but I haven't actually acted on.
Well, at least you
the
have a list.
I do.
That's step one.
I do. What, Mike? I did not get your gift ideas, Mike.
Mike is asking, did we get his yet?
Marcus,
Not yet. Too early.
And I'm still waiting, Marcus.
Waiting for
gift ideas for you.
Oh, I don't think they make enough paper for me to make a list for you.
That's what the receipts at CVS are for.
I'll share it. I'll share the file with you on iCloud. How's that?
I don't know if it'll actually email on our server here at KSAT.
No, you have to wait till you leave the building.
Okay.
Right now, as we take a look at the roadways, still clearing up this accident, just about finished up. Westbound Highway 90 exiting 4, southbound 35. I-10 at the Y. So far, no problems there. Things look pretty good. Now, we do have a stalled vehicle out there, 604 Kyle Seal. We do have an officer out there by the airport, 281-410. So far, no issues.
Good news,
Marcus?
I've seen so many memes about that, about CVS receipts.
CVS receipts,
Mm-hmm.
comically long. It's insane.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Well, I mean, just go
Distance
straight
from
to the recycle, really.
Now you know what happened to the
Distance
trees.
from the Earth to the moon is only like 10 CVS receipts or something like that. So, yeah. And you save 75 cents on that, receipt that's happening. Anyway, beautiful picture there. New growth out there in the farmland. Perfect rows. Beautiful picture. I love that. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. All right, we do have some clouds hanging around here this morning. We'll see sunshine in the afternoon, then the clouds come back in here later on tonight. Between yesterday morning and this morning, dew point temperatures have dropped down anywhere from 10, 15, 20 degrees compared to this time yesterday. Of course, we had that front move on through, so much drier air. It's much more comfortable this morning. We're still not quite down again to normal. We are, in the upper 50s right now. We should be in the mid to upper 40s for a normal low temperature. That's going to come about, though, as the week rolls on. So we are going to, again, this is all over the place. Day by day, things are going to be changing. Low humidity right now. Dew points go back up tomorrow. They'll come down on Wednesday, starting off Thursday, shoot back up late Thursday into Friday, and then really, really drop down as we go into the weekend. So yesterday's front was not bad. The one that comes in here Wednesday, a little bit better. The one that comes in here on the weekend, that's going to be a pretty good front, bringing much colder air by the weekend. So by tomorrow morning, we'll have a lot more moisture around here, maybe some mist and drizzle, perhaps a little bit of fog in the morning. Will clear out in the afternoon. And then here's the next front that comes through early Wednesday. It's not going to do too much. Maybe it'll squeeze out a sprinkle or two way up to the northeast. I kind of doubt it. I don't even have anything in the forecast for us as far as any rain with this front. Then that'll move on through here. We'll clear on out. This model brings the clouds in pretty quickly on Thursday. I think they're going to be this kind of push pushes things a little bit, but we'll then see more clouds come in here Thursday night, maybe a couple of showers Thursday. This particular model is not really showing too much in the way of rain, but we do have better rain chances coming in here than by Friday and Saturday especially. So satellite picture, first of all, got some winter precipitation up there to the north of us and a little bit closer than what it has been. So we still have the upper level steering winds up to the north. Now we've got, like I said, a series of a couple of fronts moving through. Here's the first front that comes through on Wednesday with this low. This is not quite close enough to give us really anything as far as any decent rain chances, but the next trough is going to be sliding on through here, and this low is going to be much closer, and so that'll come through Friday and Saturday, and that's going to give us the better chance for some rain, like I said, Friday, Saturday, then we should be clearing out by Sunday, but a cold weekend. 70 today at noon, partly cloudy skies. High temperature today up to 75. We'll see sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds, a pleasant afternoon. Humidity comes in here fairly quickly tonight, so it's going to be a much more humid morning tomorrow, and mist and drizzle, 80 in the afternoon. Then the next front moves through. Much more pleasant Wednesday. Chilly start for Thursday, warm up quickly, and this changes day by day. And then we have the rain chances Friday, Saturday. That's probably the best news in this forecast, and a much colder front by the weekend.
I haven't got gifts yet, but I did plan ahead as far as eating. I'm going out to dinner for Thanksgiving out at a restaurant, but I bought a turkey breast to just have leftovers.
So you can pretend to have leftovers.
Yeah, so it's not really leftovers, it's kind of firstovers, isn't it? If you're going ahead and roasting a turkey just to eat later.
That's the best way to celebrate
Thanksgiving. Or just order a second
Thanksgiving.
meal at the restaurant and take that home for leftovers.
Ah, see, that's you thinking now. Yeah, but that costs extra money. 521, 58 degrees.
Coming up next in your morning spotlight, why the Coming to America sequel is skipping its theatrical release. Plus, a first look at Carrie Underwood's new Christmas special.
Your lottery numbers: pick 3001, Fireball 7, Daily 4, 4359, Fireball 9.
Cash 5, 13, 14, 17, 29, 31. Lotto Texas 2, 10, 36, 42, 47, 53. And your Powerball numbers: 51, 54, 57, 60, 69, Powerball 11, Power Play 2. Good luck.
Country music star Carrie Underwood has a new Christmas special. Plus, the Coming to America sequel is coming home already.
Here's Douglas Hyde with the Hollywood Minute.
Let the world stand still, the church bells ring, silent night as the angels sing, hallelujah.
Carrie Underwood and John Legend are spreading holiday cheer with the release of their new music video, Hallelujah. The duet is off Underwood's first Christmas album, My Gift. Legend will also appear on Underwood's Christmas special, which debuts on HBO Max December 3rd.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
The diaries of the late Alan Rickman are set to be published as a book in 2022. The Die Hard and Harry Potter actors' journals will provide a behind-the-scenes look at the making of his most famous films and span more than 25 years of his life.
We're in New York now. Let us dress as New Yorkers. I feel like a complete idiot.
The Coming to America sequel is coming to Amazon Prime after the pandemic forced Paramount to cancel its theatrical release. Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, and most of the original cast return for the new comedy, which debuts March 5th, 2021 on Amazon Prime. In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
Certainly not.
See, we reported that Amazon paid big bucks for that, but I didn't know we were going to have to wait till March. I was kind of hoping it'd be out around Christmas.
I just assumed it would be around Christmas time. We'll just wait a little longer.
All right, we will attempt patience. 526, 58 degrees.
And still ahead in our next half hour, why some doctors are now saying just because you get a negative test for coronavirus, it doesn't mean you don't have it.
Food and Drug Administration warning about several products that are advertising cures or treatments for COVID-19. We've got more on that.
And the nation is pausing to remember a man whose simple challenge helped generate millions of dollars for ALS research. Hi, welcome back. It's about 5:30. It is Monday. It is November, 23rd. And thank you so much for joining us this morning.
It is. It's a short work week for a lot of folks. And this team will be around on Thursday morning.
Yep, we'll be here Thanksgiving morning.
We love starting your day, and then we go away for like the long weekend.
They're like, goodbye.
Yeah, the truth comes out. But Mike is standing by. Mike, the beard looks fantastic. I know last year you had to shave it for family pics, but it's coming in very robustly.
Yes, so this is the longest I've gone without shaving since back in college, I think, or something. But anyway, yeah, I can't wait till next Monday.
Well, it looks great. You look like the other most interesting man in the world.
Ah.
Anyway, 58 degrees right now. We are still about 10, 11 degrees above normal. The dew point has dropped down significantly. We did have a weak front move through here late yesterday. The wind has shifted around to the northeast. Yes, it is much more pleasant, but again, not down to where we should be. That northeasterly breeze pretty much all around the area, and we don't have any temperatures. Obviously, it makes it feel a little bit cooler. We don't have any wind chill readings. No formulas are coming into play as of right now at all. We've got some fairly dry air upstairs in the atmosphere. Once again, we've morning clouds, and then we are going to be seeing more sunshine midday or by the afternoon, but then that's going to kind of change fairly quickly once we go into this evening. Temperatures are going to make it up to 75 later on today, and like I said, fairly pleasant. Humidity comes back in, clouds come back in, then that will change again. Then we have, it's all over the place this week, but the best news is we do have some of the better rain chances, some of the best rain chances we've had around here in a long time, and that's going to be late in the week and to start off the weekend, plus another pretty potent cold front by the weekend. Details in just a couple of minutes. Time saver traffic right now. Here is Officer Marcus Trujillo, but pretty quiet up to this point, Marcus. Still
not too bad, Mike. Not too bad at all. Despite that one accident, traffic's still light, so hopefully it'll remain that way until we can get everything cleared up and out of the way. Still clearing this accident, a major accident, one vehicle rollover, westbound I-10 or Highway 90 if you prefer, right there at the 35 South exit ramp. So officers are trying to clear that for you. 410 at Culeta, so far no problems there, and 410 Northwest Military Highway, so far things looking pretty good. Mark and Stephanie.
Thank you, Marcus. Now to an update on late breaking news. Arson investigators going through what is left of a home on the southwest side, trying to figure out what caused a fire overnight. They're working in a neighborhood off of Old Pearsall Road in the 5100 block of Hayden.
Our Katrina Weber is there live. Now, Katrina, you mentioned earlier that someone was home when the fire broke out. Was that person hurt at all?
No, he wasn't injured. Firefighters say, thankfully, he got out just in time as his home went up in flames. Now, arson investigators still working away here, trying to figure out how this fire started. They seem to be focused right in the front area of the house. You can actually see firefighters inside. They were tossing out, looked like pieces of ash and just debris that was inside the house just a little while ago. But arson investigators have been taking pictures actually all around the house, trying to look for the cause of this fire. The man who lives here told firefighters that right after 2:30 this morning, he woke up, found his house on fire, and ran out of there. He called firefighters here. They say when they got here, there were flames coming out of this house. Again, just the fire is out now. It's been out for a while, but that work does continue to try to find the cause of it. Reporting live on the southwest side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thanks for the update, Katrina. So you took a COVID-19 test and the results were negative. You're in the clear, right?
Well, according to doctors, not necessarily. CNN's Brett Conway shares why some doctors are now saying a negative test isn't always good enough to know for sure if you're COVID-free.
November isn't even over, and the U.S. has already seen more new COVID-19 cases than any other month of this entire pandemic. Yes, there is good news on the vaccine front, but for now,
you have to really be careful.
And part of being careful is understanding the limitations of testing. Doctors Amy Compton-Phillips and Ashish Jha explain.
A negative test does not give you a pass.
When you first get exposed to the coronavirus, your levels are pretty low and then they rapidly increase over the first 5 days.
Think of it this way.
Let's say yesterday I was exposed. If I go get tested today, I won't be positive. But in 2 or 3 days, I might turn positive and I will start being infectious and spreading it even before I have symptoms.
And remember, the incubation period can be up to 14 days. Now, they say the kind of test you get can make a difference, but there are some things to consider there, too.
So the antigen tests we know have real issues with false negatives. The PCR test, the line between positive and negative is kind of inconclusive. And so you heard early on in the pandemic when people would test negative and then they test positive again. And that's because their viral load might be just going above and below that line.
At the end of the day, both doctors agree testing isn't perfect. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
A longtime national security aide to President-elect Joe Biden, Antony Blinken, is expected to become Biden's nominee for Secretary of State. Multiple people familiar with Biden's team tell the Associated Press that Blinken is at the front of his choices to be America's top diplomat. Blinken served as Deputy Secretary of State and Deputy National Security Advisor during the Obama administration. If chosen and confirmed, he would be a leading force in Biden's bid to reframe the U.S. global relationship.
A Republican member of Michigan's canvassing board appears poised to vote against certifying the vote later today. According to Republican U.S. Representative Paul Mitchell, Norman Schinkel plans to vote no in order to delay certification. Schinkel wants an investigation into President Donald Trump's claims of fraud. That's even though 2 Republican congressmen from the state and Michigan's top GOP leaders say it's time to face facts. President-elect Joe Biden won Michigan by a margin of 154,000 votes. The House Speaker says he's worried Schinkel's no vote could cause a constitutional crisis if another GOP board member also votes no. That would result in a tie and could send certification to the courts.
536, 58 degrees.
And still ahead, a warning from the FDA about several products going around claiming they have cures of treatments for COVID-19.
And next this morning on Our Nation, remembering the co-founder of that Ice Bucket Challenge that raised millions of dollars in the fight against ALS.
Taking a look outside with live cam, a cool start to your morning at 58 degrees. It was pretty nice to step outside today. We're going to check in with Mike to see what we can expect for your Thanksgiving week in just a bit.
539, a man named Pat Quinn has died, but his memory and his actions will live on.
The New York native was a co-founder of the Ice Bucket Challenge, which helped raise international awareness about ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. CNN's John Lawrence has more.
Pat Quinn's life took a major turn in March 2013, shortly after he celebrated his 30th birthday and was diagnosed with ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis.
I just feel like it's my purpose in life.
Quinn co-founded the Ice Bucket Challenge, a viral social media phenomenon that began in 2014 and raised more than $220 million globally for ALS research, according to the ALS Association. Celebrities and former presidents got in on the challenge.
Something like an Ice Bucket Challenge where people just say ALS, the awareness gets out there. Maybe a few more people will look it up.
Quinn would later lose his ability to speak, but he was never silenced, thanks to a device that recreated his voice and inflections by matching it with previous speeches and interviews he did over the years.
Whatever it takes to keep making a difference, change this disease, and hopefully inspire people along the way.
On the 5th anniversary of the Ice Bucket Challenge's debut, Quinn said to a crowd at an ALS event in Boston that although his fight with ALS was an absolute battle, he wouldn't trade my life for anything.
Hope is everything and it keeps me going.
Pat Quinn was 37 years old. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Our heart goes out to the Quinn family.
Oh, definitely. And he raised a lot of money for a lot of people.
540, 58 degrees.
Coming up next, why a new generation of homeowners are deciding to leave cities and buy up homes in the suburbs.
543, 2020 has brought about a lot of changes and trends and challenges. One of the most noticeable trends is the movement of people, specifically millennials and Generation Z.
Our Max Massey and Sarah Costa break down some of the latest findings.
The latest data shows millennials are leaving cities and they are buying up homes in the suburbs.
New research shows there's been a noticeable migration among people between the ages of 25 to 34 from urban areas to to suburban areas.
According to Business Insider, a study from the investment management firm Cohen & Company shows among the 2,700 people surveyed, 48% of millennials reported living in the suburbs. Now, that's compared to just 44% back in 2019. Those who reported living in cities fell to 35%, down from 38% last year.
Cohen saw a similar trend among Generation Z respondents, or those ages 18 to 24. 49% reported living in the suburbs, up from 41% in 2019. And it might not be solely a product of the pandemic.
An example of this can really be seen in New York City. People are leaving the New York City area for nearby cities and towns. Rents were up 15% in Newark, New Jersey. A Cohen analyst says this suburbanization trend has been slowly occurring since 2017, and it was merely accelerated because of the pandemic.
In fact, home ownership is rising among both Gen Z and millennials. Cohen found 30% of 18 to 24-year-olds say they own their homes, up from 19% last year. And 48% of millennials say they're homeowners, a 1% increase since 2019. Even more evidence of this comes from a Pew Research study from July that found 1 in 5 Americans moved during the pandemic or know someone who moved.
And relocation was particularly high among young adults. 37% of people 18 to 29 years old said they had moved or had someone move into their house, or they know someone who had moved.
Pew Research found the majority of those people who relocated said it was because they wanted to reduce the risk of contracting the virus. Guys, back to you.
Thank you. In your morning consumer headlines, the Food and Drug Administration has sent warning letters to companies selling products that falsely claim to treat COVID-19. The FDA says West Virginia-based Pro Breath MD Dentist Select and OraCare are marketing fraudulent products on their websites. Ora Healthcare Rinse and OraCare operatory pre-rinsing set are advertised as being able to kill the coronavirus. The FDA says these products are misbranded and unapproved new drugs. Another company, Vibrant Healthcare Incorporated, was cited for selling a product made with umbilical cord material. The FDA says that company misleadingly represented the product as a safe and effective treatment for COVID-19. The companies must respond to the FDA about steps to correct the violations.
Bitcoin climbing back towards its all-time high. Late last week, one Bitcoin was worth around $18,700. It's the highest level since about December of 17. Experts think it could be headed toward a record peak, which is around $20,000 per Bitcoin.
And retailers like Walmart and Best Buy are trying to step up their gift giving game. Reuters says retailers are now offering expanded options for items that can be sent directly as gifts. It's in response to criticism of Amazon. Some say that it's gift options like gift receipts and no choices for gift wrap that they're lacking.
Yeah, it could be better. 5:47 right now. Let's check traffic with Officer Marcus Trujillo.
And right now, as we take a look, moving over to TransGuide, you can see that 281 at the quarry, north and southbound lanes, running smoothly right now. No issues over at I-1035. Managed to clear up that major accident from earlier this morning. And moving on to 604 Cowsill Parkway, they also cleared out that stalled vehicle.
Mike's here with more on Dave and Miranda up for adoption.
They're new employees here, I believe. Dave and Miranda.
I almost wish they were.
We get an extra dose of puppies this week. Look at, what a great name, Dave. I love the little crooked smile.
Dave, come here. Come here, Dave.
Dave? No, Dave's not here. Anyway, Dave's a 4-year-old American Staffordshire Terrier. Been with the ADL since July of 2018. He needs a home, play fetch for hours, master of sit, and his adorable underbite. Yes, we were talking about that. And his adoption fee is waived since he is considered a diamond in the roughs. Miranda, as you saw, a 7-month-old domestic short hair mix. She's a sweet little girl, good with other cats, dogs, children, loves toys, anything with a bell on it like most cats. Look at that little face and those eyes. Goodness gracious. So again, Dave, dog, adoption fee is waived, diamond in the rough. For more information on adoptions, please visit adl.org. Over there at 11300 Nacogdoches. 655-1481 is the number to call out there. He'd be a great little guy. Good jogging partner. All right, take a look at this picture. It is beautiful. Canyon Lake, beautiful drive on River Road in Sattler, and those beautiful blue skies out there as well. We are starting off with a couple of clouds this morning, and then we'll see more sunshine later on this afternoon. Temperature-wise, we are still about 10, 11, 12 degrees above what is normal this time of year, the 30-year average. But the humidity has really dried off compared to yesterday. It's not going to last all that long because the dew point temperatures will start to come back up even by later on this afternoon and then really move on in here later on overnight and tomorrow morning. And with this extra surge of moisture coming in here, we'll probably see a little bit of mist around the area tomorrow morning, maybe even a couple of patches of fog. That's going to be the situation throughout the day. A lot of humidity, very warm, very humid. We start off on the humid side on Wednesday. Then here comes the drier air with the next front that'll move through. So one moved through yesterday, kind of a not bad. This one's a little bit better, a little more potent. That's going to bring in the drier air and cool us off, especially for Thursday morning. It's going to be a nice, pleasant morning, but it's going to heat up very quickly throughout the day, and the humidity is going to return very quickly throughout the day on Thursday. Then that is going to set the stage for some rain chances. Then we have another much more potent front moving through here by next weekend. All right, around the country, we're back to seeing more freezing readings around. So another kind of surge of cooler air has moved on in here. And what's going to be happening as we go in through the rest of the week? Again, we have our second front, which will move through here on Wednesday. So that will, early on Wednesday, that'll get rid of the humidity. That'll cool us down for Thursday morning. That doesn't last very long. We warm right back up for late Thursday into Friday as far as more humidity coming back on in here. And then we have that next front, which is going to come through by the weekend. But the nice thing about it is this low is going to be developing here, and that's going to move down here closer than the one midweek. So what that means is that's going to enhance our rain chances Friday into Saturday. Probably the best rain chances we've seen around here in as long as we can remember, basically, it seems like. That'll be, like I said, Friday, Saturday, maybe early on Sunday. Then we will kind of clear out on Sunday. It looks like another front may try and develop going into the first week of December. It's funny to say first week of December already, but yeah, right around the corner, basically. All right, details of the forecast go like this today. We are going to be up to 70 today at noon. We'll still have a lot of stubborn clouds hanging around here. I'll be optimistic, call it partly cloudy skies. Mostly sunny later on, 75 for a high temperature. Not bad, still about 5 degrees above normal. Humidity is going to come back in here very quickly then overnight. Tomorrow we'll have some mist and maybe even some fog around the area. Then up to 80 in the afternoon. Then the next front moves through Wednesday morning. That'll keep us on the cooler side. Nice and kind of chilly, 50 Thursday morning, a little closer to normal, but the humidity comes right back in here. That sets the stage for rain on Friday, Saturday, much colder over the weekend.
Good news for the weekend.
Yes, looks like a good kind of grilled cheese and soup weekend.
32 days till Christmas, and I just saw on our ticker at the bottom of the screen that Dr. Anthony Fauci has announced that Santa Claus is immune to COVID-19.
Yes.
I heard that as well.
Yes,
so yes, kids, he will be.
The gifts are
visiting. Yes,
will be coming. Thanks,
Good
Mike.
news.
552, 58 degrees.
And some Christmas classics tried to boost ticket sales at movie theaters across the country this weekend. A look at how they did in your weekend box office next.
Your pick three numbers: 001, Fireball 7, Daily 4, 4359, Fireball 9.
Cash 5, 13, 14, 17, 29, 31. And Lotto Texas 2, 10, 36, 42, 47, 53. And your Powerball numbers: 51, 54, 57, 60, 69, Powerball 11, Power Play 2. Good luck.
You really are Santa Claus.
Pretty cool, huh?
Disney's re-release of the 1994 Tim Allen holiday comedy The Santa Claus earned the 5th place finish with $461,000 in ticket sales.
How's his communication been going? Poor guy still doesn't have any friends.
Come Play took 4th place. The fright flick scared up $550,000.
I saw exactly what I've always felt about Donnie Weeboy.
The Kevin Costner, Diane Lane kidnap thriller Let Him Go dropped to 3rd place with $710,000.
Santa's dead!
The war with Grandpa kept raging on. The Robert De Niro holiday comedy is in 2nd with $733,000.
Where am I?
I didn't get killed.
Oh my God, why do I sound like that?
I woke up in the killer's body.
Freaky slayed the competition and earned the box office crown for the second week in a row. The horror comedy about a killer who swaps bodies with a high school student made $1.2 million. In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
There are just a few days left to participate in the KSAT Community Share the Shoes Drive. It's a partnership with SAPD and the local nonprofit Zapatos Incorporated. The goal is to donate proper shoes for kids ranging in ages from toddler to teen. Shoes can be dropped off at any San Antonio Police Department substation now through November 30th. You can also give a cash donation. Find out more at ksatcommunity.com. A link for all of that's on our website at ksatcommunity.com. Still ahead on GMSA with the new PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X on the market. For a lot of families, they are perfect gifts. That is, if you can find them. They are almost sold out, and that may be on purpose. We'll tell you why and where you might just get your hands on one after all. TransGuide as we go to break. 90 at Zarza Moore. They're 1604 at Bandera. Marcus is back in studio after being out last week. We'll check in with him coming up after this break.
A fire overnight has led to a morning of investigation. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. That fire sent a man running out of his house. I'll tell you more about it.
As President Trump continues to contest the election, President-elect Biden is moving forward with cabinet appointments. I'm ABC's Elizabeth Schulze. The latest on the transition coming up.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, a nice cool 57 degrees to start your day. And it looks like we're going to have a nice day, but we're going to check in with Mike to see what we can expect for the rest of your Thanksgiving week.
Live from KSAT 12. Good morning, San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning, everyone. It is Monday. It is November 23rd.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Hope you had a beautiful weekend. It was a little warm in the afternoon, but still nice.
Not a bad weekend. We had a few showers around too, and Mike Ostrage is talking about a little cool front that moved through the area and has brought us some drier air. It feels a little bit cooler out there this morning.
Yeah, not too down to where we should be, but still it is more pleasant. And that's the first in a series of 3 fronts that are going to be coming through this week. So
nice.
One yesterday, one midweek, and then one at the end of the week. So, and each one's going to get a little bit stronger each and every time. We do have some leftover clouds around there right now, and yeah, temperatures not bad. Light little jackets, not a bad idea. 54 Kerrville, 55 Rock Springs, 50 in Fredericksburg, and we are at 57 degrees right now. I think we may drop down a couple of more notches, but that cloud cover acts like, of course, like a little bit of a blanket out there. Mold is on the moderate side as of right now, and throughout the rest of the day, as I said, I think we drop down a few more degrees, then we continue to warm up, and we'll see a bit more sunshine as the day rolls on. We'll make it up to right around 70 today at noon, and then I'm going for 75 for high temperature, and we'll have mostly sunny skies with a few clouds around here. Now, the wind, for the time being, is out of the northeast, but it is going to be shifting back around to the southeast later on. So we'll start to see more humidity actually trying to come in here later on this afternoon, and then a lot more humidity overnight. So a whole different story tomorrow morning. Probably some mist and drizzle around here. Then the next front moves on through here. Then the humidity comes back. Then the next front moves through. But the best news is we do have some of the best rain chances that we've had around here in a long time. That's coming up later on in the week. More on that in just a couple of minutes. Time saver traffic right now. Here is Officer Marcus Trujillo. Missed you last week. You were in service.
In service last week. Get all that out of the way.
Okay.
And getting ready for the holiday week. So far, not too bad out there. The volume of traffic, about the same, believe it or not. We did have an accident earlier this morning. Major accident, Highway 90, 35 area. That since has cleared out of the way. So all lanes are back open once again. Let's take a look at a couple of TransGuide cameras. Highway 151, Fort Tidd area. So far, no issues there. Later on the day today, there will be some closures down there. The Marbach exit closed for construction. Then Highway 90 at Susquehanna, no problems. And no problems there. 37 at Hackberry. Marcus, Stephanie.
Thank you, Marcus. Good to see you, sir. Well, top story right now, a fire has destroyed a home on the southwest side of town. It broke out overnight in the 5400 block of Hayden Drive. Katrina Weber is there with the live report. We know arson investigators have been there for a while, Katrina. Any word yet on how that fire started?
No, actually, they finished their investigation here anyway and left the scene. We still don't know how it started, but I can tell you it did a whole lot of damage. Just You can see there's just a burned out shell of this house. The firefighters are wrapping up their hoses, but that's not how it's been all morning. They've been quite busy. We can show you the video to prove it. They got the call a little bit after 2:30 this morning. They got here and found flames coming out of the house. They were able to knock down the fire pretty quickly, but it had already done its damage inside the house. There was a man here. He told firefighters he was sleeping. He woke up to find his house on fire. He got up and got out quickly without being injured in any way, but he obviously has lost his home as a result of this fire, a fire which has a cause that is still unknown at this point. Reporting live on the southwest side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. New this morning, San Antonio police are looking for a shooter on the northwest side. Police say it happened in the 5400 block of Stillbrook around 10 last night. That's in a neighborhood near Grissom and Bandera. They say a man and a woman were outside of their house when a vehicle pulled up in front of that house. One person inside fired several shots and the woman was hit in the leg. The driver of that vehicle drove off. The victim was taken to BAMC and is expected to recover.
San Antonio police say doorbell footage is helping them in a shooting case. This all happened yesterday evening at Imogene and Antoinette on the southeast side. Police say a man got home, told his wife to go inside and walk down the street to speak with a group of men. They got into an argument. Police say the group fired about 20 shots at the victim. Police say a neighbor's Ring doorbell cam captured 5 men taking off in 2 separate cars after shots were fired. Police say the victim knew the men in the group and was shot in the chest. Officers have not released a description of any suspects. The victim is currently in critical condition at BAMC.
Local health officials are reporting 567 new cases of COVID-19 in Bexar County. They are also reporting 510 backlog cases and 17 backlog deaths. Right now, there are 492 patients in the hospital. 165 are in the ICU and 84 are on ventilators. The city says the current stress level on hospital systems is moderate.
Well, customers showing one San Antonio business a lot of love during hard times. Sherry Ramirez is owner of San Antonio's only Nestle Toll House Cafe off 1604 near Culebra. The business has only been open a short time, but is at risk of closing due to the pandemic. Ramirez asked for the community support in a now viral video, and yesterday says she was surprised to find a line of people outside waiting to help. Some customers we talked to say they waited in line more than 2 hours to get an order in. Ramirez says the boost of sales will allow her business to stay open a little while longer.
And nearly 3 weeks after Election Day, President-elect Joe Biden is expected to announce his nominations for key cabinet positions, including Secretary of State.
Meanwhile, 2 states will vote today whether to certify their election results. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has more.
Good morning. President Trump's legal challenges to the election continue to be thrown out for lack of evidence. Now some Republicans are saying it's time for the president and his team to provide more help with the transition. As President Trump continues to contest the election results, President-elect Joe Biden is forging ahead with the transition process. Biden expected to nominate his longtime advisor Antony Blinken as Secretary of State. The cabinet announcement, which could happen as soon as Tuesday, comes as Michigan is preparing a vote on whether to certify election results or delay the process to allow an audit. With at least one Republican member of the state's canvassing board expected to delay the certification, if the other Republican forces a tie, the issue could end up in the court. Meantime, some counties in Pennsylvania are planning to certify their election results today. Pennsylvania is the latest state to dismiss a Trump campaign lawsuit claiming voter fraud, with the judge writing the claims are haphazardly stitched together like Frankenstein's monster. A small but growing number of Republicans are now expressing frustration that President Trump won't accept the results of the vote. Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski saying a pressure campaign on state legislators to influence the electoral outcome is not only unprecedented, but inconsistent with our democratic process.
And what's happened here is, quite frankly, the conduct of the president's legal team has been a national embarrassment.
The Trump campaign is distancing itself from conservative attorney Sidney Powell after she made unfounded claims about the integrity of the voting apparatus used in several states. Trump had said last week that Powell was part of the legal team. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
And time now is 6:08 and 57 degrees for now.
Glad you're with us on this Monday morning. Coming up on GMSA, a visually impaired teen sharing her story of getting past hardship. But she hopes it will help others overcome bullying in school.
And letting your kids watch too much TV could also have a negative impact on the parent. We're going to see how one study ties screen time to bad behavior.
Outside with live cam, nice and cool this morning. What does the rest of our week hold, especially as we go into all that eating on Thursday for Thanksgiving Day? Mike, how's your forecast coming up? Big tech companies and social media giants have been all over the news, and in some cases, the leaders of these organizations have been called in front of Congress.
And whether you love or hate social media, odds are you are all using it in some capacity. As Max Massey explains, Facebook still appears to be king, at least regarding users.
I'm sure we've all complained about Facebook one way or another, whether there was a political post, a weird picture, or a mean comment. But as much as we criticize Facebook, the platform, it's only getting more and more popular. According to the statistics website Statista, Facebook has more than 2.7 billion, yes, billion monthly active users around the world. To put that into perspective, Facebook, the first social media platform to have 1 billion users back in 2012. And since then, it has almost tripled. But here's the thing. Facebook owns and operates more than just the Facebook platform. Yes, I said that correctly. Among their other popular platforms are WeChat and Instagram. So here's where it gets even crazier. During the latest reported fiscal quarter, the company Facebook stated that 3.1 billion people were using at least one of the company's core products. Those products include Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, and their newly updated Messenger program. Each month, to put that in perspective, there are 7.8 billion people on the earth. That means, according to these numbers, in the latest fiscal quarter, more than 40% of the entire world was on one of Facebook's social media platforms. Now, that's a lot of people, but we also have to recognize that for so many people, including myself, during this pandemic, social media has been a crucial source of communication with friends and with family. Guys, back to you. How much TV your child watches could be affecting you and your child's relationship.
Researchers from the University of Arizona say kids watching too much TV could lead to more stress for parents. A new study on consumeraffairs.com found kids who watched a lot of TV misbehaved in stores more often, which ultimately affected their parents' stress levels. The reasoning, researchers say this is because kids are exposed to more advertisements, which could lead to more demanding behavior while shopping.
Researchers say that the behavior creates more conflict between kids and parents. Experts also say creating strict guidelines on screen time could be the most effective way to reduce stress and could lead to better behavior with our kids.
No, I have this face, I'm a guilty parent face, because actually, well, for a time period, when we would go to the stores, I would actually use screen time to distract her from the items in the store.
Versus, Mom, I want that.
Right, right. And, you know, and then my mom's like, what are you doing? I'm like, but this is so peaceful.
Oh, it's
so peaceful.
It's a delicate balance, isn't it?
It really is.
6:14 right now.
Let's go ahead and check in with Officer Marcus Trujillo.
And right now, as we take a look at various TransGuide cameras, 410, Highway 151, no issues there. Moving on to some other areas like Highway 90 at Sergeant Morning, you can see traffic starting to pick up, particularly on those eastbound main lanes headed into the downtown area. No problems there. 37 at Hackberry. And as we look at 1604 Bandera, things are picking up, also picking up southbound 281 at Winding Way.
Just noticed that shake to the camera, Mike Osterhage.
Yeah. I don't think it's wind that has to do with anything.
I think it's the bounce on the bridge.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
Wind's not that strong out there as of right now, but we do have some more pleasant temperatures. Not quite down to what you would expect this time of year, but at least it is a little more comfortable out there. The first in the series of fronts moved through late yesterday afternoon and the evening hours. Did squeeze out a couple little sprinkly showers. 57 right now here in town, mid-50s parts of the hill country, and maybe a light jacket. Dew points down to 49, so that has dropped down significantly compared to yesterday. And for the time being, the wind is out of the northeast, but that will definitely be changing. I love this picture, and look at that, all the little white petals on that flower, except those 3 purple ones there.
That's
interesting.
Pretty.
That's very pretty. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. All right, it's starting to lighten up a little bit. I think we're actually starting to see a bit of the early glow there of the morning sunrise, but you can see we've got a lot of clouds hanging around in here. And again, these numbers are about 10 degrees above normal as of right now. The humidity, which is pleasant for the time being, is going to come back in here actually starting later on today. The wind's going to shift back around to the southeast, pumps the humidity back in, so the little bit of a break we have right now is definitely going to be changing, and then by tomorrow morning there's going to be a ton of it out there, and with all that moisture pumping on in here, You know, that usually means we're going to have maybe some mist around, perhaps even a couple of patches of fog tomorrow morning. It'll stay on the humid side throughout the day tomorrow and even starting off early on Wednesday. But here comes the drier air moving in here, and that's associated with the second front moving through this week. That won't live very. Wednesday's going to be a fantastic day and starting off on Thursday, but that won't live very long because then we will warm up preceding yet the next front that's going to move on through here. Much of the country has backed down to right around freezing or actually below freezing temperatures. And the latest, obviously, batch of cooler air has kind of slid on in here, but it's still not that really blast of Arctic air. That's still sitting up there in Canada, kind of blocked by the steering winds right here. So we have the first front that moves through on, the second front. First one was last night. Second front moves through on Wednesday. Cools us down, gets rid of some of the humidity. Nice start on Thursday morning. It's going to be closer to normal readings, going for normals mid to upper 40s, going for 50. So it'll be chilly on Thursday morning. Then we warm right back up. We get into more of an overrunning situation here. We're going to have a lot more moisture because the thing, even last week we started off with a lot of the fog around here. But as soon as we got rid of the fog, we had those beautiful blue skies. We're going to have a lot more moisture aloft in the atmosphere. That's also going to be helping out with some rain chances coming in here by Friday and Saturday. So the reason for that is this low, which is developing out here, is going to be almost sitting right on top of us. So that's really going to get the atmosphere kind of going. And so that's why we do have those better rain chances Friday into Saturday, maybe lingering into Sunday. This one's also going to be pulling down some colder temperatures around here. So it is definitely, especially on Saturday, that's kind of shaping up to be sort of a raw kind of a day, and we'll have temperatures that are going to be on the chilly side and some rain around here. 70 today at noon, partly cloudy skies, still have some stubborn clouds hanging around here, and I'm going to call it partly and mostly sunny later on today. 75 for a high temperature, still about 5 degrees above normal. The humidity is going to be okay this afternoon, but you'll notice it's starting to go up, and then it's really going to go up overnight, and we'll have plenty of it around tomorrow. So that's going to hold us in the low 60s tomorrow morning, about 15 degrees or more above normal, and humidity sticks around with some mist in the morning. Then Wednesday, the next front moves through, mid 70s, lower humidity, starts off cool Thursday. Warms right back up during the day, late Thursday, maybe even a shower late Thursday. Better rain chances, best rain chances we've had around here in a long time. Friday and Saturday, and then cooler over the weekend.
Good Thanksgiving.
Good looking Thanksgiving weekend, though. And if we can get some rain around here, oh, goodness gracious, that'd be wonderful.
Spread it out over a couple days would be nice.
Yep.
Thank you, Mike. 619, 57 degrees.
And with many stores starting deals and discounts earlier, many are wondering if they will last through Black Friday. We're going to find out more in today's GMA First Look.
Here's your secret word of the day. Enter it on KSAT.com/Circle K for a monthly chance to win free gas for a year. Every entry wins a medium coffee. Win with Circle K and GMSA.
Add some thrill to your wish list at the Season of Audi sales event.
Shop Macy's Black Friday specials now. Like 60% off coats for all. Designer boots just $49.99. And cozy cashmere only $39.99. Plus extended store hours and get contact-free curbside pickup or pickup in store at Macy's.
It's Judgment Day. Backseat chefs peer inside your oven. But you've cleaned off all the baked-on business from meals past with Easy Off. So the only thing they see is that beautiful bird. Go ahead. Let them judge.
In this morning's GMA First Look, countdown to Black Friday. The deals dropping earlier than ever, and some shoppers worrying they won't last. This year's hottest gift for teens is sold out at all the major outlets. This morning, the PS5 gaming console unavailable online as desperate parents wait for new batches of products to become available.
I would encourage consumers to check across multiple retailers' websites through the week.
While Walmart has advertised new deals and a new shipment of PS5s dropping November 25th at 9 p.m., experts say stores want us to shop now.
Given the peak demand that they're expecting, the earlier they can push the orders, the easier it is for them to fulfill those orders in time.
And all this week, GMA has you covered for all things Black Friday. We're tracking the biggest deals to save you the most money. It's all coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Becky Worley, ABC News, Oakland, California.
And here locally, a Steele High School student suffering from glaucoma is not letting her condition stop her love for music and swimming. 16-year-old Jasmine Harper was born with a cataract behind her eye, so she's been visually impaired all of her life. She was diagnosed with glaucoma at the age of 8. She got older, she learned to adapt to life and school and found a passion in music and swimming. Harper is in the orchestra, Steele High School marching band, Girl Scouts, and multiple swim teams. But despite her success, she says she had to overcome bullying throughout her life.
She found that a lot of it was that people just don't understand. And so we started to make her understand what was wrong with her, and then she would explain it. And so education, I think, educating everyone about visual impairment was one of the big things that we discussed.
Harper says her goal is to raise awareness for others like herself. You can learn more about her story right now on KSAT.com. Just search What's Up South Texas.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
6:25, Dallas Cowboys broke a 4-game losing streak with a win over the Minnesota Vikings last night. It's also the first time Cowboys won on the road this season. Quarterback Andy Dalton returned after an injury and a positive COVID-19 diagnosis and threw 3 touchdowns. Defense also stepped up with 2 key fourth-quarter stops and 2 takeaways in the game to help the offense. Dallas goes on to win 31-28 in Minnesota. Cowboys now have a 3-7 record on the year, but are still in the hunt to win the NFC East. They have the same record as Washington and the New York Giants, all only a half a game behind the first place Philadelphia Eagles. Houston Texans also celebrating their 3rd win of the year, beating the New England Patriots yesterday in Houston. Quarterback Deshaun Watson led the offense with 3 total touchdowns, 2 in the air, 1 on the ground. Meanwhile, the defense played some of their best game all year. Texans, who had the worst rush defense in the NFL, held the Patriots runners to only 86 total yards. J.J. Watt batted down 4 passes. Houston goes on to win 27-20. The Texans also have a 3-7 record, but are a ways away from the AFC South leading Colts at 7-3. Both the Texans and Cowboys play this Thursday on Thanksgiving Day. Texans play the early game when they play the Lions in Detroit at 11:30 in the morning. Then at 3:30 in the afternoon on Thursday, the Cowboys will host the Washington football team up in Arlington.
A busy Thanksgiving Day.
Can't wait.
It'll be exciting. Time now, 6:26 and 57 degrees.
Despite repeated warnings from government agencies, Americans seem to be traveling for the holidays, and it comes at a time when cases and deaths are surging across the country.
And new generations are living differently. We're going to track some of the latest trends on where millennials and Gen Zers are buying houses.
And we're checking the roads with TransGuide at 10 and the Y here in the downtown area. We'll get updated with Officer Marcus Trujillo coming up.
It's a middle of the night mystery. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. Arson investigators are trying to figure out what caused this house to go up in flames. I'll tell you more about it.
And airports are reporting an increase in the number of holiday travelers. That's despite the CDC urging Americans to stay home amid a surge of cases around the country.
And outside with live cams, the sun's getting ready to come up. Thanksgiving week, Mother Nature serving up cold fronts and 3 courses. We got the first one yesterday. When will the next 2 be here? Mike has details coming up.
Hi, happy Monday. It's November 23rd, and a lot of kids are off this week. I know my little girl's pretty excited about having the week off of school.
Yeah, hopefully a more normal week around here as we get ready to celebrate Thanksgiving on Thursday. But let's focus on kicking off the short work week with Mike Osterhage.
Well, it's a very pleasant start this morning. It was a nice weekend, but it was on the kind of the warm and humid side. Made it up into the low 80s yesterday. And finally, that humidity got trimmed off with that first in series of fronts that moved on through here. So right now, dew points down to 49. That's not bad. Northeasterly wind. Temperatures at 57. That's still 10 degrees above normal right now. And out there off to the west, Uvalde is at 60, 65. Del Rio, Carrizo Springs even at 61 degrees. So very mild conditions around here, but again, a little more comfortable with that lower humidity. Mold is on the moderate side. So a lot going on this week. So mostly sunny, kind of fallish today. Temperatures will be mid-70s, a little bit above normal, but the humidity is going to come back in here fairly quickly in the overnight hours. So we will have some mist tomorrow morning, and then it's going to be warm and humid. Then we have yet another front which is going to move on through here. So Wednesday is going to be a very nice day, and to start off on Thanksgiving. Then it's going to start to warm up again. Then the humidity makes a return. Then we have rain chances moving on in here, and probably the best rain chances we've had in a long time. That looks like it's going to be Friday and Saturday. And also late Friday into Saturday, we've got the third front moving on through here, and that's really going to cool us down for this weekend. All the details in just a couple of minutes. Time saver traffic right now, and Officer Marcus Trujillo. And well, I see just a couple of incidents out there.
We do have an accident up there, and it's a motor vehicle pedestrian accident. So we're going to move up there. It's on Nacogdoches, right in front of the park. So we're moving up to the 10,500 block of Nacogdoches Road. Watch out for a number of emergency vehicles, including EMS. We're responding to that motor vehicle pedestrian accident. That roadway probably going to be jammed up for a little bit. When you use an alternate route and stay away from that if at all possible. Let's take a look at TransGuide 410 at Cordell Road. So far, no issues there. Traffic is starting to pick up in different parts of the city, and not too bad here. 410 and Northwest Military Highway. Stephanie?
Thank you, Marcus. Fire woke up a Southwest Side man overnight. It has also destroyed his home. This happened in the 5100 block of Hayden Drive off of Old Pearsall Road. Katrina Weber is there with a live report. Now, Katrina, you mentioned earlier that firefighters put this out quickly. So how was it able to do so much damage?
Well, it seems it must have had a bit of a head start. The man who lives here told firefighters that he woke up and found his house on fire. And again, that is what they found when they got here as well. There were flames coming out of the windows. Firefighters have packed up and left here, but they were here in force earlier this morning, as you'll see in the video. About a dozen units responded to this fire a little bit after 2:30 this morning. Again, the man woke up to the fire. Firefighters found his house engulfed in flames when they got here. Again, they were able to knock down the flames pretty quickly, but the damage had already been done. This house is destroyed. Arson investigators were called in to try to figure out how the fire started. At this point, we have not heard from them if they have learned the cause of the fire. Reporting live on the Southwest Side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Now to the pandemic. Cases skyrocketing, and health officials say 1 American is now dying every minute across the country.
And despite the CDC urging Americans not to travel, airports are seeing large crowds. TSA says it has been busier than any other time during the pandemic.
ABC's Moto Kassar Abdi has this update.
This morning, some California restaurants already crippled by COVID are being dealt another blow. Starting at 10 p.m. Wednesday, all dining in Los Angeles County will shut down again. Only takeout, drive-through, and delivery will be allowed.
I have to say I'm all for it. I think we have to knock this thing down.
Across the country Sunday, more than 100,000 new coronavirus cases were reported for a 20th consecutive day. In Nevada, the governor issuing a statewide pause, tightening mask requirements and reducing capacity limits in public places.
Whether you believe in the science of COVID or not, the reality is this. It's simple. COVID is filling up our hospital beds, and that threatens all Nevadans.
The governor of Georgia now urging people to wear a mask.
As the weather turns cold and people spend more time inside, we have seen Georgia's case numbers increase.
In the last week, 10,000 Americans have died from the virus, the equivalent of one person dying every minute. And now, health officials fearing another big surge as the holiday rush begins. The TSA screening 2 million passengers over the weekend, some of the highest numbers since the pandemic began. Dr. Anthony Fauci is urging Americans to think twice about Thanksgiving plans.
Please seriously consider
decisions that you make.
In the meantime, police breaking up large parties, including 80 people inside a swingers club in New York City. And the state's governor is calling for an investigation after reports of a synagogue holding a wedding with 7,000 maskless guests. In Arlington, Texas, one family recording this video.
We have COVID-19. All my family have COVID-19.
15 members of the family are now fighting the virus after gathering for an indoor birthday party earlier this month.
Please stay at home.
Please protect yourself. It's real.
Please don't be like my family and ignore the CDC guidelines. By staying apart, we can fight this virus together.
Mona Kosar-Abdi, ABC News, New York.
On the vaccine front, the FDA will hold a hearing on Pfizer's vaccine December 10th. Emergency authorization could come on that day, and distribution to healthcare workers could begin 24 hours later. Meanwhile, British company AstraZeneca announced today its vaccine in phase 3 trial is 90% effective.
A Republican member of Michigan's canvassing board, Norman Schinkel, appears ready to vote against certifying that state's votes today. It's according to Republican U.S. Representative Paul Mitchell. Schinkel wants an investigation into President Trump's claims of fraud, despite no evidence to support the claims. President-elect Joe Biden is in the lead in Michigan by 154,000 votes, with all ballots counted.
Meanwhile, President Donald Trump's legal team is appealing a ruling in Pennsylvania after a judge threw out an election case. Now, that judge dismissed the case that tried to invalidate about 7 million ballots across the state. He said the campaign's arguments lacked merit and evidence and amounted to an attempt to disenfranchise voters.
President-elect Joe Biden expected to announce his nominee for U.S. Secretary of State by tomorrow. The Associated Press are reporting it's expected to choose Anthony Blinken. Blinken served as Deputy Secretary of State and Deputy National Security Advisor in the Obama administration. If he is nominated, the U.S. Senate must approve the choice.
The co-founder of the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge has died of the disease he raised millions to fight. The ALS Association says Pat Quinn died at the age of 37 yesterday. He was diagnosed in 2013 with what's also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. The association says Quinn's Ice Bucket Challenge raised about $115 million to support its work. It also brought in about $220 million for research in other countries.
2020 has brought about a lot of challenges, changes, and trends. One of the most noticeable trends is the movement of people, specifically millennials and Generation Z. Max Massey and Sarah Coaster break down some of the latest findings.
The latest data shows millennials are leaving cities and they are buying up homes in the suburbs.
New research shows there's been a noticeable migration among people between the ages of 25 to 34 from urban areas to suburban areas.
According to Business Insider, a study from the investment management firm Cohen & Company shows among the 2,700 people surveyed, 48% of millennials reported living in the suburbs. Now, that's compared to just 44% back in 2019. Those who reported living in cities fell to 35%, down from 38% last year.
Cohen saw a similar trend among Generation Z respondents, or those ages 18 to 24. 49% reported living in the suburbs, up from 41% in 2019. And it might not be solely a product of the pandemic.
An example of this can really be seen in New York City. People are leaving the New York City area for nearby cities and towns. Rents were up 15% in Newark, New Jersey. A Cohen analyst says this suburbanization trend has been slowly occurring since 2017, and it was merely accelerated because of the pandemic.
In fact, home ownership is rising among both Gen Z and millennials. Cohen found 30% of 18 to 24-year-olds say they own their homes, up from 19% last year. And 48% of millennials say they're homeowners, a 1% increase since 2019. Even more evidence of this comes from a Pew Research study from July that found 1 in 5 Americans moved during the pandemic or know someone who moved.
And relocation was particularly high among young adults. 37% of people 18 to 29 years old said they had moved or had someone move into their house, or they know someone who had moved.
Pew Research found the majority of those people who relocated said it was because they wanted to reduce the risk of contracting the virus. Guys, back to you.
640, 57 degrees.
And as we have seen, gaming consoles are hard to get, but it turns out that may be the strategy for some companies. We're going to have more after the break.
Well, Thanksgiving coming up on Thursday, which means the gift-giving holidays are right around the corner.
That's right. With the new PlayStation and Xbox consoles on the market, for a lot of families, they are perfect gifts if you can find them.
They're almost sold out, but as Max Massey explains, that may be on purpose.
The PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X sold out immediately upon launch last week. Customers reported a difficult time finding the consoles in stock as websites kept crashing. To many, it felt harder this year than usual to get their hands on the latest release. Now, this year, the supply of the consoles really couldn't keep up with the large demand. Although analysts had predicted that the PlayStation 5 would sell out the Xbox Series X over time, right now, the current console wars winner is whoever puts more stock on the shelves. Analysts have different theories on why the consoles sold out so quickly. Most think that Sony and Microsoft purposely limited how many units were produced. IDC's research director of gaming says profit margins on the new PS5 and Xbox Series X are probably really thin or even outright in the red, meaning they're losing money on each console. Sony and Microsoft likely considered production levels that wouldn't put a huge stress on the manufacturers and the supply chain, and that could help them limit any revenue losses. Another possibility is that COVID-19 played a role in limited supplies. And we have had this PlayStation versus Xbox rivalry for a while. So who is winning the current war? Well, it's really hard to say, but marketing researchers at Civic Science found 12% of Americans over 13 years old plan to buy the PS5, while only 10% said they would buy the new Xbox. Either way, though, the video game industry has boomed during this pandemic. Max Massey, KSAT 12 News.
Right now to 6:45.
Let's go ahead and check in with Officer Marcus Trujillo.
And we do still have that accident. This is a motor vehicle pedestrian accident. A number of emergency vehicles out there. The 10,500 block on Nacogdoches Road, right there in front of the park. So that if you're northbound on Nacogdoches, it's right before you get to Wurzbach Parkway. So that's going to cause some problems for some folks until we can get that accident cleared up and out of the way. Sit down here in the downtown vicinity, 35 of St. Mary's, so far, no issues there. And look, moving on to 35 at Pine, north and southbound lanes starting to pick up in volume, but so far, no delays in anyone's travel times on the highways.
Quick update on No Shave November. Mike Osterhage has received a huge anonymous donation that has now put him
You told me about this
in
yesterday.
first place. Yeah, I can't remember your total, but you're definitely now at first place. A ton of money has come in the last couple of days for almost all of our team members.
That's great news.
Yeah, so we're in the home stretch here. Last full week of November. Keep those donations coming for No Shave. Go to KSAT.com and search No Shave, or go to no-shave.org and search for KSAT.
And you said that one donation was $1,000?
Yeah, Mike got a $1,000 anonymous donation.
That was nice of you,
cool.
Mark.
Yeah, I know, right?
But to everybody, whether it's, $1 or $1,000, thank you very much.
Yes.
A lot of great organizations, including St. Jude Children's Research.
In this case, I'm glad you passed me because everybody's a winner here.
Because it all goes in the same pot.
That's
right.
Are we close to because remember we were talking about halfway point?
I
we were
think
looking at
so.
2,500 and hoping to double that?
I know we're over $6,000 right now.
Already?
Yeah.
Awesome. Fantastic.
6,500, Jared says, our
65, maybe. I wonder if we can hit 10,000.
Last week, let's go for 10.
Yeah, I was going to say, by the 30th, I wonder if we can hit 10,000. Come on,
you've
folks.
done a great job so far.
It wouldn't be a bad thing.
That would be wonderful. Thank you all very much. Okay, here's a beautiful, we haven't seen many pictures from Mr. Angemiller lately, but wow, that's pretty out there. Doesn't it look like it should be about 30 degrees? Anyway, that's a great looking shot. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. Sun has started to lighten things up a little bit. Obviously, it's not peeking over the horizon, officially rising until just after 7 o'clock, but you can see the cloud cover that's out there this morning. It's acted like a little bit of a blanket. I think when it's all said and done, we will have dropped down maybe a degree or two more. 52 Comfort, 57 in Tarpley, 61 right now in Castroville. Yesterday, we did make it up to 81 degrees, and it was on the humid side. Same thing on Saturday. Different story today. We will be somewhat cooler today, down to 75, but still about 5 degrees above normal. And we're going to be seeing a couple of even some low 70s. That may be kind of a little bit on the warm side, but it will be still on the above normal side. So we've got some of our low clouds around here this morning, which you can pretty much make out that little kind of shadow coming on in there on the infrared satellite picture. Around the country, what's interesting is we do see, instead of just everything up along the northern tier of the United States, a little more activity a little further to the south. Not close enough to really do us any good, but we will see a system coming on in here that's going to be almost right on top of us. So that's going to enhance our rain chances once we get into the latter part of the week. A lot more cool air is covering most of the country. We still have the really, really cold stuff still up there in Canada. Here's that dividing line. Now, as far as rain chances, first of all, we get this next low coming in here with the associated front. That's going to be on Wednesday. Nothing. We will have more moisture coming in here later on tonight, so maybe some mist and drizzle, but not any significant rain at all. But this front will bring in slightly cooler air compared to the one that moved through last night. Then we warm up very quickly ahead of the next front. So that's going to be late Thursday into Friday. And as this low starts to develop and work its way in here, that's really going to start to enhance our rain chances Friday into Saturday. Then that's also going to be pulling down much cooler air, so that will knock temperatures down. It's going to be pretty darn chilly around here on Saturday and Sunday. Plus, given the fact it's going to be wet on Saturday, good sort of grilled cheese and soup kind of day coming up here. Today, 70 at noon, partly cloudy skies, comfortable humidity throughout most of the day, but then the humidity is going to start to work its way back into the picture by especially late this afternoon and tonight. 75 for high temperature, much more humid overnight, so that holds lows at 62 degrees. Some mist and drizzle in the morning, a couple of patches of fog, and we'll see temperatures getting up to 80 tomorrow, down to 73 Wednesday in behind the second front. Nice start Thursday, warm right back up, and then rain Friday and Saturday. Very good chance right now for rain on Friday and Saturday, and cooler over the weekend.
Mike, so far you raised $1,460 for No Shave November. Got a $100 donation from Yvonne Sherney, one of our loyal viewers, and she wrote,
thank you.
I am hoping to help with St. Jude because no child should have to deal with something as horrific as cancer. Thank you, Mike, for supporting my pictures. I appreciate you and love the weather forecasts.
Thank you for the donation. Keep the pictures coming on in there, Yvonne. We appreciate them.
Yes, thank you, Yvonne. That's so cool.
Right now, we are at 6:51, 57 degrees.
And for many people, it is beginning to look a lot like Christmas before the turkey is even out of the oven. Tomorrow on GMSA, we will see why some people are jumping the gun on Christmas cheer this year.
Outside with live cam Monday morning. The sun is now up. Wow, a lot of overcast out there right now. You're waking up with GMSA. We're sure glad about that. We'll be right back.
Fire moves in overnight, forcing a man out of this southwest side home. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. This is the 5100 block of Hayden Drive off Old Pearsall Road. That's where the fire broke out a little bit after 2:30 this morning. Firefighters say they found flames coming out of the windows when they got here. The man who lives here says that's exactly what he found when he woke up this morning and called firefighters. He was able to escape the home without any injuries. The firefighters did move in, knocked it down, and then called in arson investigators to try to figure out how this fire started. So far, no word on the cause. Reporting from the southwest side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
5 minutes till 7.
Let's go ahead and check the roads with Officer Marcus Trujillo.
And still have that one accident, that motor vehicle pedestrian accident in place. That's going to be the 10,500 block of Nacogdoches. Just keep that in mind if you normally travel past the park there on your way to Wurzbach Parkway, or maybe south of Wurzbach Parkway. Also, 281 in Hildebrand, started to see an increase in the traffic on the southbound main lanes. Mike?
Lots of clouds around this morning, and it is a bit more comfortable compared to yesterday. We had the first front move on through here. These clouds are going to be getting on out. We're at 56 right now. Some low 50s in the hill country. Maybe a light jacket out there. Dew point temperatures have dropped down, so like I said, it is more comfortable than what it was over the weekend. We'll make it up to 75 later on today with more sunshine. However, the humidity comes right back at us overnight. Mist and drizzle tomorrow morning. Very warm. Another front Wednesday. Thursday starts off nice, then another front moves through here, but that's also going to bring some rain with it Friday and Saturday and cooler weekend.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for joining us. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you back here at 9.